He promised her a job, a new life, but she ended up in a barrel full of acid. If this story grips you, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to support the channel. Dark tales like this one deserve to be told. Together, let's uncover the truth. The Farm of Shadows. Two officers crack open a barrel. The stench is unbearable. A woman's body, upside down, floats in red sludge. They have no idea this quiet Kansas farm is the killing ground of a man who's been hunting for 16 years. He hunted online. Before dating apps, he used chat rooms, BDSM forums, job boards, lonely hearts. He knew where broken souls lingered. That's where he hunted. Always polite, always promising. The master's game. He called himself the slave master. Women thought it was role play, but for him, submission wasn't a game. It was control, and control meant life or death. Suzette's decision. Suzette was kind, brave, searching for purpose. He offered her a job, $65,000 a year to care for his sick father. She told her mom, "This might change my life." She had no idea how true that was. The limo ride. A black limo pulled up. He greeted her like a gentleman. "You're safe now," he said. But behind the charm, death rode in silence. She smiled. He watched. The manor. He took her to a mansion. "My father's resting," he said. A kind old man smiled from the couch. But his real father had died 10 years earlier. Nothing here was real, except the danger. Bound by trust, he asked her to sign blank pages. "Just for admin," he smiled. Then 40 envelopes, addresses of everyone she loved. She signed them all, with trust. He smiled in the dark. The last call. She called her best friend. He's strange but kind. Her voice cracked. Her friend begged her not to go. "I have to," Suzette said. It was the last anyone heard from her. The isolated farm. He drove her to the middle of nowhere. "This is where we'll start our journey," he whispered. The air was still, the silence louder than anything. Ritual begins. He tied her hair tightly, handing her the blindfold. "Let's play," he whispered, his voice cold. She thought it was just a session, something harmless. But for him, it was never a game. Submission meant more than just pleasure. It meant total control. It was the beginning of her end. The hammer falls, the first strike, then the second. Silence followed, the only sound the slow dripping of blood. She never saw it coming. No scream, no fight. Her body fell limp while he remained calm, watching the blood spill as if it were nothing more than a game. The barrel. He stuffed her into a barrel. The acid poured in, bubbling as her body dissolved. There were no screams, no last words, just the quiet disappearance of a life. Her name, her story, vanished. Nothing was left but the memory of a cold, calculated act. Father of lies. He lied to everyone. He said she moved to Hawaii. He sent postcards written in her own handwriting to cover his tracks. No one suspected him. They all believed the stories he told while her body slowly dissolved in a barrel. His lies became their truth. A pattern of pain. She wasn't the first, and she wouldn't be the last. Lisa, Catherine, Beverly, they all vanished. They all trusted him. They all ended up in barrels. His pattern was the same: gain their trust, trap them, and take them to his death chamber where no one would ever find them. Online predator. He spent his nights in the dark corners of the internet. Forums, chat rooms, and lonely hearts. His prey was always broken, searching for someone to trust. He gave them a chance to believe in him. Then he struck, the trust they had in him becoming their final mistake. Tiffany's disappearance. Lisa and her baby disappeared. The mother was found, eventually dissolved beyond recognition. But the baby? Raised by his brother, unaware of the truth. A child's life stolen, raised in a lie, never knowing her real fate. The monster had left his mark once again. An empty motel room. The room was empty when the investigators arrived. The bed was made, the barrel gone. No sign of Lisa, only a receipt, signed with her name, left behind. Everything had been erased, no traces, no evidence, just a trail of lies leading to nowhere. Fireproof lies. He forged letters saying she was safe. He sent them from different cities, written in her handwriting. No one suspected a thing. He was careful, meticulous. The police didn't question him. Not yet. But the truth was buried, and it was only a matter of time before it surfaced. The social worker. He even convinced the social workers. A rich donor wants to help single mothers, he lied. They believed him. They sent Lisa into his arms, into his trap. They sent her to her death, never suspecting the monster that lurked behind his charming facade. The deal. He made every promise sound like a lifeline, a new life, a family. But for him, each promise was a trap. Every smile was a lie. And behind each gesture of kindness, a hammer waited to fall. Trust was his tool. Their downfall was his reward. The smell of death. The storage unit reeked. The air was thick with the stench of death. The neighbors complained. The manager opened the door, and what they found inside was worse than they could imagine. A dark figure walked past, not knowing the investigation would soon change everything. The mask slips. The investigation into him began. The authorities dug deeper into his past, his lies, his charm. They started to see the cracks in the mask he wore. His calm demeanor was starting to fade. The monster was no longer hiding. He was being exposed. Suzette's blood luminol illuminated the truth. Blood splatters covered the walls, each drop telling a story of fear, pain, and the end of a life. Suzette never had a chance. She trusted him, and now her blood would be the evidence to end his reign of terror. 3 barrels. They found 3 more. Women. Dissolved. Each in their own barrel. Their lives ended by a man who thought he could erase them. He'd been doing it for years. And now the truth was coming to light. The master falls. They arrested him quietly. No shouting, no chaos. Just silence. The man who had terrorized for so long was finally in their custody. The monster, now a prisoner. But he wasn't worried. He'd been planning his next move for years. Trial of the century. In the courtroom, he smiled. He sat back, calm and confident. His charm remained even in the face of overwhelming evidence. The families of his victims sat in horror, knowing the truth was finally being revealed. 110 witnesses testified. The horrors, the lies, the evidence, all laid bare. The jury could only listen, shocked by the gruesome details, but still he sat there, emotionless, as if he knew the outcome already. Death sentence. The jury didn't hesitate. Guilty. Death penalty. He blinked once, then looked down. The monster who had caused so much pain would never walk free again. His reign of terror was finally over. The baby in the photo. 15 years later, they found her. The baby, Tiffany, raised by his brother, unaware of the truth. A stolen child, a life built on lies. The photo showed the monster holding her, a twisted smile on his face, a mother's loss. Final silence. John Edward Robinson sits on death row, 81 years old. No remorse, no answers, only silence. His life has been one of manipulation, lies, and death. Now he waits, but the barrels still speak.